On this team, we fight for that itch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that itch.
Coming in at 320 kilobytes per second. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for MattieC Sports for you and me.
When it comes to getting dough and chasing dollars.
All right, everybody, MattieC Sports for you and me. We have a special edition today, episode 11, season 2. And oh my God, why am I still doing this? But I figured I'd do it because I love it. But here we are with Peter Barrett, a.k.a. Slippery Pete, a.k.a. the hometown hero. What's good, bro? How you doing?
Man, I'm loving life right now. Everything's good. Just wrapping up a good day of training here on this beautiful Saturday. It's like first, really nice day of the season, I'd say. So. Oh yeah.
So
and sun.
And yeah, man. So I see you in sparring like nonstop. I see you in the octagon nonstop, training for anything right now, and I can appreciate that. So, I mean, with everyday life and stuff, how's it been doing everyday life and the fact of training too?
I mean, as far as for me, everything's pretty much back to normal. I forget that we're in a pandemic sometimes, because the circles that I'm in, we've dealt with it. Everybody it's kind of moved on past it. We're back to kind of like normal. But I also coach high school wrestling at BC High, and they're really strict about everything there. So it's masks at all times. We're not allowed to use the wrestling room. We have to share time with all the other teams in the gymnasium. So it's a little hectic in that respect, but I feel like everybody's trying to just, get back to living like normal again. And much like me as well.
Right, exactly. Like I'm trying to get back to normal myself, and there's been a lot of lifts in this whole pandemic. And I really feel like we're all going to get back to normal soon. But I mean, especially in the MMA world, what's going on with you in Cage Titans right now, bro?
So I'm fighting. I'm making my return to Cage Titans here on June 19th. It's going to be a small event at Pins in Kingston. I think it's only going to be 5 or 6 pro fights. The state still hasn't allowed amateur sports to continue, so it's going to be a much smaller card, much smaller crowd. I think there's only going to be like 300 seats or 300 tickets sold to the whole event, so be on the lookout for those. They're going to be super scarce and super in demand. Obviously, if you know a fighter, get a hold of them sooner than later, and then you catch me as a main event. I think Connor Matthews has already announced that he's fighting on Cage Titans. Sean Lally has already announced that they're fighting on Cage Titans. There's a few other names that, the Cage Titans family are going to love to hear. I don't, so, to be announced or to unfold there. But, just some heavy hitters, exciting fighters, guys that have been itching to fight for quite some time now and ready just to go out there and put it on the line and give everybody a good show. I think there's just so much talent, here in New England that's just right on the cusp of getting into the UFC or getting back into the UFC. So we're all looking to put on big shows and really wow everybody with our performances. So stay tuned. You know what I mean? That Cage Titans card is going to be fireworks.
So there will be 298 tickets, right? So you got 2 for me all lined up.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's good with it.
Yeah, man, I'd love to go. So when do pre-sale go for that?
I think Mike and the Cage Titans crew, which, it's pretty much Mike, he's figuring everything out with the state and with the venue and the floor plan about ticketed seats. So normally he says, here's general admission for this seat, ticket level, general admission for this seat level. But I think now with, and I'm speculating, so don't quote me, but I think with the restrictions, there's going to be X amount of seated tickets and X amount of general admission tickets. So it'll be interesting to see what unfolds. But as soon as I get that figured out, we'll have fighters will have tickets in their hands.
Sick, dude. I'll be there if that happens, bro, and keep me updated, man. So going back to the UFC stuff. So I know you've been sparring, training, all that stuff. So what's up with that music video you were in, bro?
Oh, dude. So M Dot is a homie, right? We got connected. We got connected through a mutual friend of a friend, I believe, and they were looking to get into an MMA gym for that music video. Him and I connected, we linked up, and then there was something held up with the video with the Snow Goons, the guys, the producers from Sweden, or I believe, or Europe. I forget. Maybe it's not Sweden. Maybe it's Germany. But the Snow Goons are Poland. I think they're from Poland. Who the fuck knows? Fact of the matter is, Snow Goons had the videos from the tour because they filmed all the shit when they were on the European tour over there with Snow Goons. So once he got the video, then he was able to release the video. So that video, he'd been sitting on that for like, I'd say like 3 or 4 years. I think we did that like right after my dad died, which was in 2017. So what, it's 2021 now. So I think that little gem was 4 years in the making, which was an awesome little boost to see because, you know, that whole music video was about never giving up and putting everything on the line. And, you know, I was very much at that point in my life when we filmed the video, having to then made it to the UFC when the video actually hit the media block. It was really dope to see.
Well, let me tell you, man, the 2 UFC fights I've seen you in, you threw all your heart in both of them. You know, two fighters that were pretty tough, and you know, not the result you wanted, but you had this whole area, you know, on your side and stuff. And to be honest, man, like I have like now a superstition. I say, I'm not wearing those fucking shirts until you get the next win, bro. So I know I know that's coming, bro. So I was like, I'm thinking, oh, should I wear the shirt today? I said, fuck no, I ain't gonna do that. I have a superstition right now, and then I know the W's coming, bro. And
oh, it's coming. It's a big one coming here in 4 weeks. Don't you worry about that.
Oh yeah. Well, I have to see it live, so get me out there, man, and I'm coming.
100%, dude. Definitely, it'll be a good night. I mean, the training has been fucking nice. Everything has been nice. The matchup is great. Like the matchup goes hand in hand with what I've been working on, and it's gonna be fucking beautiful.
Yeah, man.
But we haven't announced who I'm fighting it, so I can't drop that yet.
That's all right, bro. Like I don't look for that shit, man. Like if people want to tell me shit, they can, you know. And I'm not like when I have people on my show, I kind of like say to them like, you're family. So like if you want to be part of the family, join. And if you don't, then I won't talk to you again. So so you know, you're kind of family to me, bro. And I mean, we're both kind of from the same neighborhood, man. I mean, South Shore.
Yep,
and,
definitely.
So what's the deal with like, so you're fighting in Cage Titans, right? And then you're also signed contract with UFC. So how does that work with both of them? Like it's like okay and sanctioned that you can fight in either or?
No. So they, after that last fight, they released me. They said if I could put together a few wins, that they'd have me back. So my mission right now is to rack up 2 or 3 wins this summer. Go back and say, hey guys, you said to go get some wins. I got some wins. Let's see what we can do here. Let's put get the fuck out of the crosswalk, you fucking assholes. It's fucking Boston. You don't have the right of fucking way to just walk across the fucking crosswalk when we have a fucking green light. I apologize for the rant.
That's okay, because I fucking do it too.
Like, no, motherfucker.
Yeah, you go into Fenway Park and shit. Go down that way. Go down towards Fenway Park, and you're like, motherfucker, get out of my goddamn way. I know the Red Sox just lost the game, but like I'm trying to get by and go the fuck home.
It's ridiculous, but whatever. Maybe I shouldn't be in such a rush. So they released me after that last fight. I knew it was coming. That's where the emotion came from. About 30 seconds after that fight was over, I kind of just
I know. I
watched everything slip between my fingers there. But yeah, like I said, they said, hey, listen, go put together a winning streak, and we'll see what we can put together for you. And that being said, like, I'm gonna go knock a couple motherfuckers out around here with good records, and go knock on that door again and see what they have to say. I'll knock on that door and until the wheels fall off, whatever, however you want to say it. But yeah, man, I'm just here to keep fighting, keep winning, and keep pushing forward with this dream.
Yeah, man, and you are, man, and I see it when you come into that ring, and the picture I put up for you, like as the promo for this, is like you with the black eyes and you got a smile on your face. That's what I see in you. Like you don't, like, up here, you don't give a fuck. Like you're like, you know what? Here's the fight. This is what happened, and I'm gonna come back. Either I'm gonna fuck you up, or there could be the return. And I hate to use the name Chase Hooper, but there could be a time where you come back and the revenge is there. Like you had some unreal kicks, man. Like I say, our episode is round 2. I'd be out round 1 with a leg kick from you, bro. But
dude, I was, that was a really, those low calf kicks are hot right now. You know what I mean? It's like Zoolander, Hansel, he's so hot, right? Everybody wants to throw those leg kicks, bro. Everybody wants to throw those fucking leg kicks. And I've been throwing leg kicks for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nothing new for me. We've been working on those forever. So my only regret was not jumping in my ortho stance and start chopping on his other leg. But, lesson learned. Lesson learned. You got to keep your foot on the gas when you're there.
It's just that motherfucker pissed me off with, like his pre-stuff. Like somebody posted something like Instagram or something, and he was playing that fucking Fleetwood Mac song in a fucking ATV. I'm like, he's like,
I saw that shit.
His fucking voice, man. I was like, this kid fights. Like, what the fuck is this shit? And it just seems like he just had some quickness. That's about it. But
I mean, he's a world champion. You know what I mean? Outside of the MMA, he's a world jiu-jitsu world champion. He's no slouch. The heel hooks are his jam. That's his peanut butter and jelly sandwich right there. Took his 4th or 5th one to get on me. So I mean, the kid's fucking submitted his way through fucking world jiu-jitsu champions with that move, and I fended it off for fucking 13 minutes, and I finally took him in that last attempt to get it. So I mean, at the end of the day, I lost, but fuck, man, that was a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shut that down so many times. You know what I mean? He could have had it on that first takedown that he shot, that I fucking shut down right from the rip and let him know, homeboy, you're not shooting on my hips. You know what I mean? And that's when he started getting on that rear leg and hitting that Umari roll, or whatever the hell it's called. Imanari roll, like he knew he wasn't coming in there face first. So it as much of a frustrating loss as it was, there was a lot of victories along the way. You know what I mean?
Bro, you had that fight controlled really good before that happened. Like you had him like down, and like a lot of people like around here, dude, were like,
that motherfucker is up for comeback of the year because of that fucking fight.
No,
he gets comeback of the year and I get cut. Fuck.
Fuck that shit, dude. Like, and fuck Chase Hooper. We'll deal with another fucking subject. So back to Cage Titans. I mean, it seems like a great thing that's going on. I'm excited, and I'm glad you're going back local, and we'll go. If I can get tickets right away, I'll fucking go, dude. Like, that's the mentality I have, and I'm gonna see you in the octagon, and you're gonna really show your shit. I can tell.
Yeah, man. I just, I'd be damned if I didn't put my heart back into this and continue forward. You know what I mean? Life's all about getting better and learning along the way. And there was a couple lessons there that I really needed to get through, and I think I've come back full circle, and we're ready to seize this shit and fucking take over the world, baby.
Yeah, you got it, man. I really see that coming out, man. And just like, it's funny, like, because you got like on your Instagram, you got like a skull here in the corner, and you're like, and on your like, your Instagram, like little words you got there, you're like, be positive and like live your life to the fullest and shit. I'm like, and then I'm like thinking like in the corner, like to the death, like
until the wheels fall off at 100 miles an hour. Be aggressively happy.
Yeah, exactly, man. And you got a positive attitude towards all this shit. Win, victory, or draw. Like win, victory, draw. Win, loss, or draw. you got
Yep.
this shit. You know, you take it with a grain of salt, and you know it hurts in the first part of it, and you know that's what happens. But again, like I can see you back in the UFC for sure. I'm not saying these guys in Cage Titans aren't like tough dudes and stuff like that, but you have the experience of the highest level to that level to, you know, I'm sure you could probably go into Bellator if you really had to.
Mhm.
But you know, now with what's going on in the UFC is fucking crazy, dude. And like, you know, that's what I'm saying. I was talking to you earlier about, you know, Stephen Thompson over Mike Chiesa is he's getting mad about, you know, Colby Covington fighting Usman. And it was in the making in the get-go, because these guys are going back and forth, back and forth. So I mean, I think it's just ridiculous that these guys are like so mad at each other. And like Colby's a cocky motherfucker, man, but like he can hold his own. So except for that
Yeah.
jaw one time.
I mean, dude, drama sells. You know what I'm saying? And they want the top guys that are going to sell the most tickets. That doesn't necessarily mean the top guys that are the most deserving by any means. You know, you see it with McGregor. He's the highest paid athlete last year of all fucking athletes. You think if he wants to fight a championship fight, Dana's not going to fucking give it to him? This dude has more fans than most of the roster combined.
Yeah, he needs a new intro song, bro.
Well, dude, I mean, maybe he needs to reinvent himself. You know what I mean? When he was Mystic Mac, he was on point. Now he's like cocky Connor, and he sucks. So, you know, he needs to get back to that humble approach of mysticism and just believe in the universe to do the right thing through him. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to leave it up to trusting in the process and letting it take you where you need to go.
Right. And you know, I saw that too. I mean, with him and Cowboy just doesn't give up, dude. He is a tough motherfucker, man. Like that's why he's at BMF Ranch, dude. He's like herding cows and fucking fighting at the same time. Like he's been one of my favorites for a long time. And you know, there's all types of fighters like that are hungry even when they're at the top. And that's what like, and that's what I see like you doing. Like, you know, you're fighting for the top, but you're fucking hungry all the time. Like you have the, like me and you talk and shoot the shit. We have a good laugh and shit. And then, you know, I see you go into the ring and you're like blank face. You're like, I'm ready to fucking go. Like, let's go right now.
Yeah.
And
yeah, definitely. And that's what it takes. You know what I mean? I like, at least for me, if I was on all the time, you know, I would burn my fuses out. I can't maintain that energy all the time. It's all about balance. So like, it's about being the best person I can be outside of the cage and then busting my ass as hard as I can while I'm in the cage. And that's just how I balance it. You know, be a great person. You know, try to do as much good as I can, and then you know, flip the switch and be a fucking ruthless killer.
yeah, and
You know, I don't know.
it shows.
It's
Mike,
the yin and the yang. It's that balance. You know, if you're too much yin and you're too much yang, if you're too much, you know, masculine, not enough feminine, like, you know, those are the fucking lunatics, you know, but it's all about, you got to have that balance.
Yeah, man. I respect your game with that. And, you know, there's some shit coming down and along the way. And, you know, it's good that you're coming back home. Like you're fighting at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you go to Boston and you fucking go to Montreal and then you go to Montreal the next day, you're like, oh shit, like I'm in a whole new environment. Like,
mm-hmm.
And like, is it like crazy going into, you know, the Vegas complex, like being in there and you're like, whoa, like, look at this shit. Like
there was that a few times, like in the beginning, you know, the first time I went out there and saw the PI was a couple of years back before I fought on the Contender. I was out there and like that really blew me away to see what the UFC was providing for their athletes. And then, you know, when I went out there and fought on the Contenders, to see the way that they put everybody up, you know, how well they took care of the guys that weren't even in the UFC, and then to see the support, you know, through those 2 fight camps while fighting under a contract, like it's fucking amazing. You know, they've come a long way. and that's what needs to happen, and that's what's been happening. So it's like it definitely puts a light at the end of the tunnel in front of me as to where I want to be and how I want to compete and the level at which I think I deserve to perform at. So um, now it's just I have that longing to get back to that treatment. You know what I mean? Like that's the level at which I want to compete, and I feel that I am most capable of competing at.
Right. And exactly. And, when I watched the fight for you, and I mean, you were the first on the card, and they were talking, and Dana was talking about you, and he was like, this dude is like got so much heart, and he's a grinder, and he's no joke. He's ready to go. Like, to see Dana White say that, I was like, yeah, Dana, finally you know your shit, bro. Like,
yeah,
like
and yeah, it's nice to hear that and to be spoken of in that manner. It does warm my heart to hear that.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that part, and I don't know if you watch your fights after the fact.
Usually, yeah. I mean, I was so upset that night that like my coaches and my brother, like, they thought I was upset because I lost, and they're like, "No, sit down and watch the fight. You fought really good." And I'm like, "That's not why I'm upset. I'm upset because I lost, and I was so close to winning. Like, I know I fought well. It was just like he got that fucking heel hook."
Yeah. You did fight well. You did, and a lot of people who watch UFC should understand like what you did in that ring in the octagon. And I was like, damn, Peter Barrett's got this shit. Like, but shit happens and move on to the next thing. And now you're at Cage Titans, and glad to see you're coming back and fighting again back at home.
Yeah, so, the goal is to get back to the UFC, right? So wins are wins. As long as I'm not fighting trash cans, fucking tuna cans, tomato cans, whatever you want to call them. It doesn't matter where I fight. You know what I mean? If it was, if I had to go fight at LFA to get back to the UFC, I talked to Mike. Mike's one of my good friends. We had this conversation. I'd be going to LFA, or if I thought that fighting down in Miami for CES was the way to do it, I would have gone down to CES. But because I could save the money, fight with the promotion that got me there in the first place. It was the right match. They said, go get wins. They didn't say, go fight for these guys, go fight for those guys, go do something in Bellator. They just want to see wins, and if you overthink it, you overthink it. But they said, go get wins together. I'm going to get wins together. We're going to do it in my backyard with my family in attendance, and we're going to make it a fucking showing of all ages.
Fucking right, dude. And what's the so is there a limit to what you can, so you could probably have like fucking, if you really logistic wanted to, probably have 8 fights in a couple months, or would that be too much for your training and all that, and your
my goal, the goal that I set for myself was 3 fights by August. That was when we thought the first Cage Titans was going to happen within the month of May. Now it's back to mid-June. So if I want to keep my goals on a continuous timeline, that pushes me to like 3 fights by September, October. My goal is to have my hand raised in the UFC octagon by the end of December. And I think 3 fights is what's going to take to create some buzz and attention to get me back in the UFC. So I'm looking at 3 wins as fast as possible.
Bro, it's gonna happen. Like you gotta stop talking like that. You're fucking going back. That's just the facts, bro. And like you said, doing it in your backyard, that's what it's about. Like starting in your roots and then coming back. It's always been in those corny movies, but like it's true. Like you come back home and you're ready to go. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be good stuff. And I look forward to it. And is there other venues that they're going to put you guys at besides King's, or are they going to go anywhere else, or is that up to them?
So, I mean, right now Memorial Hall's kind of closed because there are still capacity restrictions, but I foresee that stuff being lifted, as soon as Fear Baker fucking takes his head out of his ass and decides that, we can follow the science and the whole state should be reopened at 100% capacity. We can get back to doing things. So as soon as that decision is made, Memorial Hall will open up. We'll have all the amateurs back. We'll have a nice big card. It would be like like the good old times. But as of right now, with only pros being able to fight, he's going to do some smaller events. He might do a all amateur event up in New Hampshire. I know there was some rumors of that going on. But we got to see what the local government says about reopening the state.
Fucking pricks. You want to? They're letting people back.
Yeah, without getting on a political tier. You know what I'm saying? Like, open the fucking state. Even the CDC said, "Hey, man, you don't have to wear masks anymore." You know what I mean? Like, what kind of fucking dog and pony show is this? Where, hold on, your vaccine works, so you don't need to wear a mask, but you didn't get a vaccine, so you need to wear a mask to protect yourself against the vaccinated people whose vaccine works. So why are we all wearing masks?
Right. And, honestly, coming from the fan spectator point of view, honestly, we're like, for the drinkers out there, like, we're all sharing the same fucking tap. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, your beer could hit that tap and here we go. We just shared another one,
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's semantics at this point. I feel, we can argue about, you know what I mean? Like, it's just foolish. There's so many instances and situations where it just defies any of what they're doing.
Right. And I mean, you got people, going to, what's the new team in Worcester with the Red Sox? The Woo Sox. Like, you got fucking people going to a game that, like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. There's like 1,000 or 2,000 people. Like, the fuck, man. Like, people want to see shit like what you have. Like, I don't want to go see a team like that. I want to go see something entertaining where I can have some good food and a good time, and have
watch two guys beat the shit out of each other.
It's not even, you could go the Floyd Mayweather route and go all about points and shit. But actually, we'll speak of that. So what do you think of this fucking Logan Paul bullshit with Mayweather? I think it's a fucking joke, honestly. And if you really think about it, I would see Mayweather just fuck around for the first round and then just beat the shit out of him in the second.
Yeah, I think Mayweather probably needs to pay his taxes again. You know what I mean? He's gonna cash in on this kid's hype. There's no question about the skill disparity. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, yeah, you've got a puncher's chance, but like, Mayweather has the best defense in boxing. Period.
That's like you gotta have like
come on.
Yeah, like if you really realistically want to beat Mayweather, that's like Apollo Creed in Rocky times 10 against him being a Rocky. Like your underdog is like to be continued.
Yeah.
But
I think it's like it's a way to get the kids involved in boxing, and it's as terrible as it is, and as horrible as it sounds. Like, who was it? Some fighter was just like, yeah, I hate it. My kid's favorite boxer is one of the Paul brothers, and the kid's a trash athlete. But my kids fucking like him, and because my kids like him, they follow. They like boxing, and they like what I do. Little do they know, I'm a million times better than either of these kids will ever become. But they're what's hot right now. They're what's bringing my eyes to boxing. So at the end of the day, like, maybe there'll be a resurgence of boxing because all these kids realize that these two brothers are trash, and there's a lot better skilled athletes out there that are worth a follow.
Right. And, I'm finally back to boxing again, because now ESPN is putting Top Rank. They're putting the championship fights on ESPN, which hasn't happened in years. Everything was pay-per-view. So, like, you see, I'm sure you probably know Vladimir Lomachenko, like, just an absolute fucking beast in the ring. And, and it's like, it's good that boxing is on the comeback a little bit, and UFC will be UFC for a while.
Right.
And I don't think that's going to be a dying sport. So
no, me either. I think the UFC's got a good hold out there. I think we'll start to see a recognition of Bellator and ONE FC with the most recent exchanges of athletes and who's succeeding and who isn't, to see what there is other really top level competitors and other promotions. But UFC is the most mainstream avenue with MMA, and they're always going to be the kings of the sport.
On the other great thing, and I love, is Nate Diaz is coming back in the game, bro. Like that was big news for me. I'm like, shit, this is about to go down. Like I've always respected him as a fighter, and he's like, if he was in the same realm and fought Colby Covington, I would love that shit. Like that would be, but they're not in the same weight class, correct? They're in the whole different weight class right there.
No, Nick and Colby. Are you talking about Nick or Nate? Nick's the older brother who hasn't fought in a really long time.
I was talking about, Nate. Nick just smokes weed and does a lot of CBD.
Yes. So Nick's been teasing a comeback as well, though. But Nate, I mean, dude, Nate would fight at 170. Absolutely. I just don't think those two would fight. I don't think it's a good matchup. But yeah, they could have 100% fight.
I'd fucking love it, dude. Like that would be my shit. Like I would watch that fight in a second. But
it would be like a mini rerun of the McGregor Diaz bullshit, because those guys just talk so much shit.
It just wouldn't be. There's no need for a third one with them. Like I just don't see that happening, and it's just not good for the fight. But
definitely, yeah. I mean, everybody's looking to make money. I wouldn't be surprised to see it come back.
Peter Barrett McGregor. That'd be a good one.
That would be a blast. 100%.
But my final question to you, since you're driving and everybody in Boston's fucking pissing you off.
I'm back on the highway. It's been coasting pretty good now.
Oh, good. So my final question to you is actually towards your brand. So you got some new merch coming out, right? You're building the brand and shit.
I am. I just put up a web store with some of my older, more favorite designs back up, and then we're launching a new shirt. Hopefully by the end of this week, I'll have the design up with a link for a pre-order off the web store. We'll do like a 3 or 4 day pre-sale, rip that order, and then order probably a handful more of every size, and then have some in stock as well that people can purchase once the pre-sale comes down.
Bro, I want that double bubble shirt, man. That shit was sick.
Dude, go slipperysworld.com. Jump over to that shop. I think I got a couple up there, especially in your size.
Yeah, I'm not fat. I'm just an XL. I'm a tall drink of water, bro.
That's it.
But yeah, man. So tell me again the tentative date for Cage Titans and how you're gonna get me tickets.
So it's locked up. I'm the main event at Cage Titans, June 19th. It's at Pins in Kingston. There's only going to be about 300 tickets, maybe 350. All the fighters, I think the fighters are only getting 50 tickets a piece. And so if you know a fighter, get a hold of them, get in their ear, start talking to them about ticket sales. But they're going to be
you, bro.
Bro. They're going to be super, super duper scarce. High demand.
All right.
They're probably be a little bit more expensive than what you're used to, but that's only because there's less of them. Dude, get out of the fucking left lane, you asshole.
I just had to say something.
Most of it's smooth. Oh, shit. Man.
But yeah, so I look forward to that. Absolutely, I want to make an appearance, and I would definitely love to just be there and enjoy the atmosphere and shit. And of course I'll branch out that shit like nobody's business.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, again, Peter Barrett, always invited back to the show. And want to give a shout out to Keith Hayes, because he wanted me to say hi to you. So I'll just say it on my show.
Keith's a good dude. He's a super good guy.
He helps out with my videos all the time. He makes it look nice, and I'm sure he'll hook it up for this one, because this is always a good one, bro. So
good luck.
Yeah. So again, check out his merch. Check out everything doing with Peter Barrett. Look out, Cage Titans. Look at him raising his hand in the UFC in a little while, because it'll be coming. So get your fucking cameras ready. Get the DVR ready. Shit's going down.
Absolutely.
So, Peter, again, thank you for coming on the show, and I'll have you on again soon, bro.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. Well, thank you again, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
All right. I'll talk to you.
What's up? We the BMG boys, and thank you for listening.
Please follow his Facebook page and subscribe to his podcast at Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Let's go.
We shall know.
When it comes to getting dough and chasing dollars.